Hello and welcome to another episode of Connecting with Kinetic. It's been a while. I'm your host, Jake. I work at Kinetic. I don't know if you put those two things together. Well, today I'm joined by David and Josh. You may know them. Well, you may know Josh. He was on a previous episode about Rain Lang. My southern accent makes it harder for me to say that word.
Rain
Because
Lang.
I want to put in a Y in there. Rain Lang.
Rain Lang.
Rain Lang, baby.
Sound like you're.
Let's go.
Gary Springer.
Let me crack one. So, hey guys, how are you? How are you feeling today? Are you good? I mean, are you? Trump was elected. Did you know that? And he was inaugurated yesterday.
More importantly, he launched a meme coin.
Much more importantly, he launched a meme coin, as all good men do.
I didn't buy the coin. Maybe I'd be feeling better if I bought the coin. I don't know.
Yeah, I too missed out. I failed my country.
Missed another 10x, 100x. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? I'd have to get on
Life.
Solana to buy it. That was tough. It was a lot of hassle.
Yeah, we're EVM people over here.
Yeah. But apparently we're not here to talk about that. I heard that.
Although it's related.
It's related.
Somebody did post on how you can use Cyclo to go long, get leverage, and go long on Trump.
Oh, so wait, you guys are from Cyclo?
Oh yeah, sorry, we haven't been through that yet. Yeah, we're from Cyclo.
Oh my God. Well, what is that?
Cyclo is a leverage protocol on Flare where you can get liquidation-free leverage. Currently for S-Flare as collateral, but we're opening it up to other collaterals.
Now, liquidation-free leverage. That sounds good. What is that?
It is good. I have a presentation I could show you about it.
Oh my gosh. Wow. You have a prepared presentation? Now this is exciting.
Oh, yeah, we're serious.
These are some serious folks.
This isn't just a Springer or something.
What are your roles while we're looking at this beautiful blue here? What are your roles at Cyclo?
Dave, you can go first.
I'm writing the Solidity code, or wrote the Solidity code. I can't change it anymore because there's no admin keys. So I designed the tokenomics and wrote the Solidity.
He's basically the inventor of Cyclo, and I'm the chief facilitator of the idea.
What does that mean?
Well, he had the idea and he wrote the smart contract, and then I brought it to Flare so people could use it.
I mean, that sounds pretty facilitating.
Yeah, it was facilitative.
Oh my goodness. I'm learning new
Anything
things.
that you can see is probably something that Josh did. Like if it's visual or you can interact with it, it's probably Josh did it, or was overseeing it, or planning it, or somehow making it happen. Like I pretty much stopped at the contracts. So
Kind of like a magic genie.
Yeah, kind of like Robin Williams vibes.
All right, now tell me what Cyclo is and stuff.
Okay, so Cyclo. The question is, what if leverage could be traded like any other token?
Ooh.
So what if we had a leverage system with no liquidations, no governance, no setting of parameters, and we let pure market forces drive leverage, demand, and supply? So Dave rethought leverage for DeFi. So the traditional approach, like Kinetic, relies on lending pools and borrowing. By the way, I just should say at the beginning, there's no competition. There's room for all kinds of things and all types of lending and leverage. So you would use different times. So I just want to point that out at the beginning. Yeah,
it's pros and cons.
No, we at Kinetic, obviously, we really dislike you guys and we're mad. That's why we brought you on here, because we're angry.
I mean, this is like Jerry Springer.
Or Maury, the less popular version.
Yeah. Okay, so traditional approach relies on lending pools and borrowing, collateral ratios and interest rates, and importantly, it uses liquidations to manage the risk. So if the value of your collateral falls below some ratio of the position that you've taken, then you'll get liquidated, so your collateral will get sold to pay back your loan until you get back into the green zone. Cyclo thinks about it differently. So Cyclo transforms leverage into a tradable token. Right now that is size flare. There's no interest rates, no debt, and you're not actually borrowing from another person. So you mint size flare. So we'll go into exactly how that works. Size flare has a price-bound price, $0 to $1, which we can also talk about. Let's just go. So how it works. So you take your collateral, your S flare, and you put it into Cyclo and you mint size flare and a receipt. You can then take your size flare and trade it. So as I said, size flare has a floating price. There's no fixed price. You go and sell your size flare. You then use that as your leverage to go do some stuff. And then later on, you come back and you take your size flare and your receipt and you burn them to get back your collateral. And it's 1-to-1. So the same amount of size flare that you minted when you deposited your collateral is the exact amount of size flare you'll need to burn later to get your collateral back. So the thing that changes is the price of size flare in between. So size flare isn't always going to be the same price. So you will mint some size flare, you sell it, then the price of size flare could change, and then later you need to buy it back to then unlock your collateral. So the price of size flare we expect to be cyclical because as people are minting it, they're selling it, that increases the supply of it, and the price goes down. Then when the price goes down, it's a good time to buy it back to get your collateral back because it's cheaper, which then decreases, then you burn it, you decrease the supply, and you incentivize leverage again. So this cyclical thing is what the protocol is named after, Cyclo.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's big brain stuff right there.
Yeah, so actually the one thing maybe I haven't explained is that when you mint size flare, the amount of size flare you get is the dollar valuation of your S flare. So if S flare is trading at 3 cents, according to the FTSO, and you deposit 10 S flare, then you'll get 0.3 because your S flare would be worth 30 cents, 3 times 10, and you would get that much size flare. So you would get 0.3 size flare. But when you go to sell it in the market, that 0.3 size flare isn't necessarily worth 30 cents. In fact, it's almost certainly not because the price of size flare is changing all the time. So right now, the price of size flare is about 50 cents. So you would deposit your 10 S flare, you would get your 0.3 size flare, and you could sell it for 50 cents per size flare, and then you'd get 15 cents. So that would be your leverage. So if you compare it to like traditional lending, you deposit collateral and then you can borrow, and the more you borrow, the higher risk of liquidation you are because there's less of the value of your collateral has less far to go before it becomes worth less than the position you took. So if you borrow more, you're more likely to get liquidated. I think people who've used traditional lending know that, and that's why I have these health ratios to help you keep track of like how at risk of liquidation you are. So we don't have that in Cyclo. Instead, you get whatever your like health ratio or your loan to value ratio is, whatever the price of size flare is in that day. So it's about time. It's more about timing it to get leverage at the right time and unwind your position at the right time. We got some roles. So the different things you can do with Cyclo. Should I go through those?
Let's go back to your beautiful faces. You know, I don't want to distract people from the main event.
Okay, we can go through those. Yeah, you can, if you are interested in those roles, you can go to the Cyclo docs and we go through all the different roles you can play in the ecosystem and the way you can use it.
Right. So, you know, you want to cover when might someone choose to use Cyclo?
Yeah, you use Cyclo if you want to get leverage. So if you want to keep your collateral, so say you're long S flare, you believe in flare long term. So you have a bag of flare, or most probably S flare because you're collecting the staking rewards and the flare drops. So you've got your S flare bag and you want to hold on to that long term, but you want to be able to get some leverage on it. So you lock your S flare, you go take the money and you go make some other trades. Maybe you go long on Trump, which somebody posted about on X. You go long on Trump, you make a bunch of money because you're one of the lucky early ones. And then with your profits, you come back and you buy back the size flare and you unlock your S flare, which has been kept safe for you, locked in Cyclo. And if it doesn't work out, you're not forced to unwind that position. You can just wait as long as you want because Cyclo is never going to liquidate you. You can literally just wait until S flare becomes more valuable enough that it's actually worth buying Cyclo back no matter what the price is. Maybe it goes all the way to $1. And even though you originally sold your Cyclo for 50 cents, you're like, even though I have to double what I buy it back for, it doesn't matter because in the meantime, S flare has like totally pumped. We're 10 times on flare, so we don't mind.
We can only hope and demand of Hugo, because I know that founders control the price.
They absolutely do, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Everybody knows.
Everyone knows that. That's why I'm so annoyed at Vitalik. He just like scoots me down. I don't know.
Come on, dude. Like,
I don't know what his problem is. Like, why wouldn't he just want it to be more?
it seems like you want your token to be worth more, just do it. I mean, what are the devs thinking?
Pretty much, yeah.
So I
we
heard
made a token
previous
that's between 0 and 1, right? So we planned that one out. Yeah.
Well, Dave, I heard previous to this meeting, this is insider information. I heard that you have a history with anime.
Yeah, like 20 years ago, I was in Australia, and they have the DVD region locking. So I import the unlocked DVDs from Japan, like the region 0, and then just put them up on eBay. And I got shut down. But for a while, I was like, they shut me down. They figured it out.
Oh my gosh.
You were arbitraging the Japanese Australian anime markets.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Arbing anime.
Yeah, he was arbing anime. Yeah.
Because they charge double just to region lock it and like do some dub. So I felt like it was a victimless crime. Whatever.
I think you were doing a good thing. Was there a particular series that you found most profitable?
Probably not going to go into too much detail because it was illegal.
Look,
but there definitely were some that were more popular than others, for sure. 100%. You could probably guess which animes are pretty popular around then, 20 years ago.
20. I mean, I'm guessing Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah. Naruto, like that was around then.
Makes me feel old.
Yeah, they've been going a while. I couldn't sell Berserk though, which I don't know why. Oh, that was a pretty good series. No one wanted it.
I guess. You probably. I mean, back then, like, probably not not a lot of people have heard of it. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Nowadays,
I remember you doing that, and also telling me about this Bitcoin thing. And I was like, I'm not that into anime, and what is this Bitcoin thing? Sounds stupid. Yeah, I was like,
did you buy a bunch of Bitcoin? Are you a millionaire now?
Nah, I should have. I set up a mining rig, which back then was just like a gaming machine, and I just ran it overnight. I mined like half a Bitcoin in like a day or two, and then because the fan was loud, it was like hard to sleep. So I just like stopped doing it. And then I sold it. I thought it was pretty good. I sold it for like $400 like a few years later. I remember being like, man, this Bitcoin is like $3. This is so expensive.
Well, I wasn't doing anything. So at least you got $400, right?
Exactly. At least I got $400.
I mean, $400 back then, that's like what, like a house?
Exactly. Yeah. Some avocado toast in Melbourne.
Yeah, I think I pay like $400 for my breathing rights every month. So yeah, that's inflation for you. Yeah, that's why you need the Bitcoin. Did Bitcoin go up, or did everything else just go down? I don't know. I mean, as far as recently, I think everything's dumping because people are like, well, I mean, what else could happen? Nothing.
Everything's priced in at this point.
Everything's priced in.
Yeah, we're all jaded collectively as a species.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are like, bull run's over, guys. Pack it up. Go home. It's like it's been like a few months of things not being horrible. Nah, it's done.
Yeah, it's a bit defeatist, isn't it? It's like that was it. Yeah, put a few ETFs up. Although there have been like a lot of liquidations lately, so people have been someone's going long because like every week there's like another $1 billion of liquidations going on.
Has Kinetic had a lot of liquidations?
Recently, not really. Nothing. You can see our dashboards. We've got a Dune dashboard and Into the Block dashboard. And outside of that one issue we had where like the whole thing was like a triggered liquidation, it's been pretty steady, which, you know, is good. But it does bring me to my next question. How do you guys at Cyclo, since there's no liquidations, how do you guys make monies?
How do we make money? Like,
yeah, what's your revenue model?
There is none.
There's none.
There's no.
I mean, I made $1,000 off it like this week, just like trading it. I made $1,000 the week before, just trading it.
He's using
like
it.
a $200 round trip, like just doing nothing.
Yeah,
I think
it was literally invented because Dave was like, "I want this thing to exist. This would be useful for me." And so
that's pretty cool.
But yeah, there's no fees. I mean, there's a front end, but the contracts were immutable the second they were deployed. So it's actually just pure public good on Flare. We can't influence, upgrade, do anything to the protocol. It will exist as long as Flare exists.
So my next question, what's kind of next on the roadmap? I guess the answer is we're good.
We're gonna have more collateral options.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gonna add. We'll audit to get ETH added because I made a few changes, not to the existing contract, but made a few changes ready to make it easier to add new assets. That audit's starting tomorrow. So in theory, we could be doing ETH next week. Pretty much though, we're kind of waiting for tokens to come onto Flare because we've got the FTSOs. There's heaps of FTSOs in the feed. And so pretty much anything there we could support, but we need an asset that matches the FTSO so we can add that to the protocol. Because we get asked like various assets if people are asking about like Ripple and Bitcoin and whatever, and it's like, yeah, we can do it, but we're not really sort of the tokens coming across is outside our control. So once it's there, we'll add it. Then the other thing is adding automated trading strategies from Rain decks. They can be simplified and embedded into the Cyclo front end because it's all on chain, so we can do that. And then like for example, if we know that it's, if Cyclo is doing this, it's cycling, we can be buying the dips and selling the pumps in like a fairly automated way using Rain strategy. So that should help people make profit. Pretty much if everyone who's using the system is doing what the protocol wants them to do and is making money, then it should grow. That's sort of the basic philosophy. Like if everyone's making money, why would they stop?
You can use
good point.
You can use Raindex for that, but you can also use Raindex to just have limit orders for the thresholds you're looking for. So like this is what I did. Because say you buy, like say you block up some S Flare, mint some size Flare, sell that size Flare for ETH, then you can put a limit order back up for like a profit that you're looking for. So say you're looking for like a 10% profit. You can figure out the ratio between ETH and size Flare that you're looking for to sell it back and set that up in Raindex. And we've actually got like a DCA. So you can set it up as like the best price that you'll get. And then when size Flare or ETH get, like ideally you want them to diverge, you want size Flare to get cheaper and ETH to get more expensive. And then you'll start hitting that profit margin that you're looking for. And Raindex will start selling your ETH back into size Flare over time. Like you can set up. I did that, and I set up for like a day, and sold back.
Yeah,
That's
you
pretty
actually
cool.
made more because the size flow went down than ETH going up, right? When you did yours,
It was a tiny bit of
a bit
both.
of both, yeah.
It was a bit of both. But the point is, like, I didn't have to sit and wait and watch the markets.
It's automated.
I picked my what I thought would be like a reasonable profit to expect, and then I just waited. And then when it hit it, it just did it. Actually did it through the night for me.
Yeah, that's the
Nice.
best when you just wake up to profit. It's great.
Yeah.
It's what everybody wants, right?
Yeah. So that happens for you guys, huh? Must
Plan ahead.
must be nice.
Habits of Josh.
I think a lot of it's a lot more convenient when you can trade on chain on Flare without having to constantly watch the markets to do manual swaps. It's a lot more convenient because you can just, like I said, if it happens and then if that price action happens in the middle of the night and you're sleeping, you're going to miss it. But with Raindex, you won't.
Yeah, and there's some patience involved. Like it might take a few weeks or something to actually like hit the level that you need to clear. I guess the other thing that would be cool to do, which is not a short-term thing, but would definitely be a cool thing, is that because the price is ranging from 0 to 1, when you pair it with stables or something that's like a stable on not on Rain, on like a more like a Uniswap style thing like Spark or something, because it uses the bonding curves like constant product or whatever. When you're in a known range, you're collecting fees, but when you move outside of the range or you move like really far, you can get you go out of range and maybe nothing's happening or you're getting impermanent loss and you're like losing money or whatever. So if you have a more predictable range, it's easier to be an LP. So you're mitigating the loss aspect of it due to the impermanent loss of just a normal volatile, and you're still getting fees as long as the token's moving. So I feel like it could be really good to look at, like right now it's just paired against big stables, but I think it would be cool in like a real world assets context or like some kind of niche stable, or I feel like there's something there, like somebody might want to bootstrap a cool stable and pair it against these side tokens that can all be trading in that range, because if you're making a stable, nobody's using it because you're trying to bootstrap a stable. That's a really difficult thing to do. So you can try to airdrop incentives to get like a really big pool, but that doesn't actually make people put volume through the pool. Like we were doing just like a bit of analysis on different stables a while ago, and the ones that are based on like leverage and liquidation, because people are constantly managing positions, there's like a natural reason for there to be volume. So they get pretty good volume, like Liquidity or whatever. Like any, like, yeah, actually like there's quite a few stables now. So, but the ones like we looked at Frax, and it was like a more like the Tether model where you just put it's like asset backed directly, but because it sort of didn't grow up with the usage, there were these like huge pools, like hundreds of millions of dollars sitting in a pool, and then the daily volume might be like $100,000. And it was like this big discrepancy between the volume and the size of the pools, because basically people are only LPing for the rewards, not because it was like a brand name like Tether. And I guess every business does that to some extent. You know, you give like free coffees to get people to come to your restaurant and you like loss lead or whatever. But it was a pretty big loss lead. It was like, wow, those are some big numbers. And I feel like there could be something there. Like if you want to like build some volume against a stable and bootstrap it or something, I feel like this could be a way to do that. But there's nothing short term for that. That's like a whole other thing that would have to be built and then added to this in parallel.
Well, it's good to look to the future, and it seems like there's a lot of potential. Seems like there's a lot of thingies. As far as education, and as far as getting people up to speed, what are your thoughts and plans on that kind of thing?
So we keep it simple. Like right now we have the RFLAR incentives to literally just buy the token. That's it. So that's pretty simple. So that's pretty normal. Like, so when someone is getting leverage, they mint the token and then sell it, and then somebody else is buying the token to basically make the leverage a better deal. But then, because if lots of people are leveraging at the same time, the price of the token's coming down. So people who are buying the token when it's down, because everybody has to then buy the token back to burn, you can basically sell it back to them for profit, right? So it's like you're speculating on the price of the token. But we actually have incentives literally just for buying the token. So if you wait for a bit of a dip, you can just look at the chart. That would be the easiest thing, just wait for a dip and then buy the token and then get some R-flare. That's the easiest thing you could possibly do right now. And then the second easiest thing would be the leverage. Go and mint it and then sell it and then go buy something else. There's more complicated things you can do, like LPing, like looping, like stuff like that. But I wouldn't even start with that. I just pretend that doesn't exist until you feel like you're across the basics, and then you're looking for something a bit more advanced. And then you can go through the docs or ask in Telegram or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so Telegram, is that the best place to reach you guys?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Telegram is literally just Cyclo Finance.
And it's on the Twitter, right?
Telegram is on the Twitter, that's right. Which is also Cyclo
Can you give me your Twitter username?
It's also Cyclo Finance.
No underscore.
No underscore.
That's bold.
Yep.
Hey, underscore.
I got to give you props for that one. You know, the underscore. It's plaguing the rest of us.
How do you pronounce it? Cyclofinance.
Cyclofinance. No, I mean, I think that's perfect.
Yeah, Cyclofinance is where you need to go.
Well, if you guys have any kind of closing thoughts, I'd love to hear them.
Dave?
Closing thoughts. I was just talking. Probably not. I think just like definitely join the join the Telegram and like come talk to us, because there's actually like a lot of active discussion every day. And at the moment it's pretty fresh. Like, how long has it been going for, Josh? Like a month? No, a month and a week. So 5 weeks.
Yeah, well,
it's pretty fresh. Yeah.
Well,
it's fresh.
It's a good community. There's like a lot of people like very curious, and they're playing around with it and very helpful to each other. So it's been fun.
Yeah. We're still in that time period where everyone's kind of a beginner and everyone's trying to help out, and the good vibes, and people are making money and everyone's happy. So this is like the best time to join the chat while everyone's in a good mood and nothing's gone wrong.
Join this oasis.
Exactly.
Somebody Cyclo to buy a drone. That was the best one. They bought themselves a new drone using leverage on stuff from Cyclo, which is quite cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining me. I might have the squeakiest chair in existence. It keeps making sounds. You might think to yourself, buy a new one, but I've grown attached to this squeaky, creaky chair.
You could use Cyclo to get yourself a new chair.
I guess. Can I lock this chair up? Maybe
That's collateral.
It's collateral. I'm not sure it would be worth much.
It's permissionless. You can create your own side token.
Okay, good.
Side chair.
Side chair.
Well, thanks, guys. I think we learned a lot. I learned a lot. Mostly the anime arbitrage was my favorite part. But thank you for joining me, Cyclofinance. And this has been another Connecting with Kinetic.
Thanks, guys.